Did you know that Lamborghini, one of the world's most famous supercar brands, was born out of an argument with Ferrari? It sounds like a legend, but it's true. If not for that moment, cars like the Aventador, Huracan, or Countach might never have existed. What started as a clash of pride turned into a story that changed car history forever. Ferruccio Lamborghini, the man behind the brand, didn't come from wealth. He was born in 1916 in a small Italian village to grape farmers. Unlike Enzo Ferrari, who dreamed of racing from childhood, Ferruccio was more focused on practical machines. He wanted engines that worked hard and made life easier for farmers. During World War II, Ferruccio served as a mechanic in the Italian Royal Air Force. It was here that his talent with machines really stood out. After the war, when Italy was struggling to rebuild, he saw an opportunity. Using leftover military equipment, he began turning old truck and tank engines into tractors. These tractors were reliable and affordable, and they quickly made him successful. The Lamborghini business empire began not with sleek supercars, but with farming machines plowing the land. As his business grew, so did Ferruccio's wealth and taste for luxury. He bought villas, hosted lavish parties, and surrounded himself with fine things. And of course, he developed a passion for cars, especially Italian ones. He owned Alfa Romeos, Lancias, Maseratis, and eventually several Ferraris. At the time, Ferrari was the ultimate symbol of speed and status. But Ferruccio, with his sharp mechanical mind, wasn't impressed by everything under the hood. He noticed that Ferraris, while stunning and fast, weren't very reliable. In particular, the clutch often failed. For someone who had spent years building and repairing engines, this was unacceptable. One day, fed up, Ferruccio went straight to Enzo Ferrari himself to point out the flaws. Enzo, proud and stubborn, dismissed him with a sharp insult. "You're just a tractor maker. Don't tell me how to build cars." That remark changed everything. Humiliated but determined, Ferruccio decided he would prove Ferrari wrong. If Ferrari's cars had weaknesses, he would build something better. Cars that were not only powerful and beautiful, but also dependable. This moment sparked one of the greatest rivalries in car history. From that insult grew Lamborghini, a brand that would soon stand alongside Ferrari as a true icon of speed, design, and innovation. And that's how a farmer's son, once mocked as just a tractor maker, created one of the most legendary car brands the world has ever known. What would it take for a man famous for making tractors to enter the flashy, risky world of supercars? For Ferruccio Lamborghini, it took a bruised ego, a sharp insult, and a strong desire to prove himself. After his clash with Enzo Ferrari, his goal became clear: create a car that could rival Ferrari and silence the critics. The first step was daring. Tractors were safe and profitable, while luxury sports cars were uncertain and risky. Companies like Ferrari and Maserati already ruled that space with years of experience and reputation. Ferruccio had none of that. He was an outsider, but sometimes outsiders are exactly the ones who change the game. Unlike Ferrari, Ferruccio didn't want to build race cars. His dream was to design the ultimate grand touring car: fast, luxurious, and comfortable. A car made not just for racetracks, but for thrilling drives on open roads, wrapped in elegance and ease. This became the essence of Lamborghini: raw power combined with refined comfort. Of course, he couldn't do it alone. Ferruccio brought together some of Italy's best engineers, including former Ferrari staff, who had left due to Enzo's strict and controlling leadership. These men carried both expertise and frustration, and under Ferruccio, they found freedom to create without limitations. In 1963, Ferruccio officially founded Automobili Lamborghini in Sant'Agata Bolognese, just a short distance from Ferrari's base in Maranello. It was more than a practical location. It was a statement, a challenge right in Ferrari's backyard. Their first prototype, The Lamborghini 350 GTV was bold and futuristic, but it wasn't perfect. The engine didn't fit properly, and the car couldn't even drive at its debut. Still, its looks and potential grabbed attention. Ferruccio wasn't discouraged. He knew great things took time. Soon after, the 350 GT hit the roads, powered by a V12 engine designed by Giotto Bizzarini. This car proved Lamborghini's ambition wasn't just talk, it was real, powerful, elegant, and dependable. It showed Ferrari wasn't the only name in Italian performance anymore, but Ferruccio wanted more than just competition. He wanted to redefine what a supercar could be. While Ferrari focused on racing heritage, Ferruccio focused on comfort and practicality. He believed a true supercar should be thrilling, yet smooth, powerful, yet enjoyable to drive every day. Then came 1966, a turning point. At the Geneva Motor Show, Lamborghini revealed the Miura. With its mid-engine design, stunning curves, and groundbreaking style, it wasn't just a car, it was art on wheels. The Miura set a new standard for supercars and instantly made Lamborghini a legend. The Miura's success was more than performance, it was personal. The man once told to stick to tractors had built a car so iconic that even Ferrari had to take notice. Overnight, Lamborghini was no longer just a challenger, it was a leader. Yet Ferruccio was never obsessed with racing like Enzo Ferrari. He openly admitted he had no interest in spending money on competitions. Instead, his focus stayed on the driver's experience, the joy of speed, beauty, and control on the open road. This set Lamborghini apart and attracted buyers who wanted prestige without racing politics. But success came with challenges. Unlike tractors, building cars was costly, risky, and unpredictable. The competition was intense, and profit margins were thin. Still, Ferruccio pushed forward. For him, every Lamborghini built was a reminder to Ferrari that he had been wrong. What began as an insult grew into an empire. But as Lamborghini rose, new troubles emerged. Economic crises, rising oil prices, and tougher global competition. The future of his company would test Ferruccio's pride, vision, and his ability to hold on to the empire he had created. Success has a way of testing even the strongest people. For Ferruccio Lamborghini, creating the Miura wasn't just a success, it was a turning point. From being a farmer's son and tractor builder, he rose to become the maker of the most admired and desired car in the world. By the late 1960s, Lamborghini had stepped out of Ferrari's shadow and was now standing beside him as an equal. But history shows that once someone reaches the top, the challenges become even tougher. The Miura made Lamborghini famous worldwide, but fame also brought pressure. Customers wanted more speed, more beauty, more innovation. Ferruccio, however, was careful. Unlike Ferrari, who chased racing victories, Lamborghini focused on building the perfect road car. He didn't want to waste money racing for trophies. Instead, he wanted to create powerful machines that looked stunning and ruled the streets. But the car market was demanding. Enthusiasts wanted constant evolution, and rivals were keeping a close eye. The early 1970s were all about speed, style, and extravagance, and Lamborghini's small team had to keep up. Their answer came in 1971 at the Geneva Motor Show, the reveal of the Countach prototype. The Countach was unlike anything before. Its futuristic, sharp design with scissor doors and aggressive stance stunned the world. It instantly became Lamborghini's new face, securing its reputation as the boldest car maker in Italy, if not the world. Yet behind the applause, problems were growing. In 1973, the global oil crisis hit, gas prices skyrocketed, and people turned against fuel-hungry supercars. Governments introduced stricter rules, and the luxury sports car market shrank overnight. For Lamborghini, which thrived on making powerful, extravagant cars, this was a huge blow. Italy itself was also in economic trouble. Inflation, labor strikes, and political unrest shook industries. Making tractors was hard enough, but building high-cost, delicate supercars was even riskier. On top of that, Ferruccio was struggling personally. He had already proven his point against Ferrari. The Miura and Countach had made his name legendary, but managing both the tractor and car businesses during such tough times became too much. In 1974, Ferruccio shocked everyone by selling his controlling shares in Automobili Lamborghini. Just 10 years after challenging Ferrari, he walked away. Some saw it as defeat, others as a wise decision. For Ferruccio, it was closure. He had built a legendary brand and now wanted peace without the weight of business struggles. The company, however, wasn't finished. Without Ferruccio, Lamborghini entered a rough era. Ownership changed hands many times, money troubles piled up, and bankruptcy loomed. But the cars themselves, especially the Countach, kept the dream alive. It became a cultural icon, with posters on bedroom walls around the world. It wasn't just a car anymore, it was a symbol of power, rebellion, and dreams made real. Ferruccio, meanwhile, returned to his farm and vineyards, living quietly, but his name had already become immortal, forever tied to the Raging Bull logo. This chapter of Lamborghini's history is bittersweet. On one side, it shows how quickly fortunes can change, from the glory of the Miura to the crisis years, but on the other, it proves something bigger. Once an idea captures the world's imagination, it never truly dies. The Countach was proof that Lamborghini wasn't just a car company, it was a legend, larger than life itself. Even after Ferruccio left, the company struggled and fell more than once. But like the bull in its emblem, it always got back up. And as the world entered the 1980s and beyond, the roar of the Raging Bull only grew louder. When Ferruccio Lamborghini left his company in 1974, many believed the brand would slowly disappear. Without the man who created it, how could it survive? For years, that prediction seemed true. The company changed hands multiple times. Money troubles kept piling up, and bankruptcy always seemed just around the corner. But Lamborghini was never just another car company. It stood for something bigger: dreams, rebellion, and a legend too strong to be forgotten. The Countach became the car that kept Lamborghini alive. With its futuristic design and iconic scissor doors, it turned into a cultural icon. Even when the business struggled, the Countach kept the world hooked. Teenagers plastered its posters on their bedroom walls, and celebrities wanted to be seen driving it. It wasn't just a fast car. It was a fantasy on wheels and the face of the 1980s supercar culture. Still, the financial struggles didn't go away. Through the late 70s and early 80s, Lamborghini's ownership kept changing. Rising costs, low production numbers, and Ferrari's constant dominance made survival tough. But Lamborghini had something Ferrari didn't: mystery and boldness. While Ferrari represented tradition and racing victories, Lamborghini was about shock value, desire, and the impossible. That difference kept the brand's spirit alive. A big change came in 1987, when Chrysler, an American car giant, bought Lamborghini. At first, it seemed like an odd pairing, but Chrysler brought money and stability. Under their ownership, the Diablo was launched in 1990. With sleek looks and top speeds over 200 miles per hour, it became the fastest production car in the world at the time. Once again, Lamborghini showed it was still alive and charging forward. But Chrysler didn't hold on to Lamborghini for long. In 1994, the company was sold again, leading to more years of uncertainty. Despite unstable ownership, Lamborghini cars like the Diablo continued to evolve and captivate fans. The real breakthrough came in 1998, when Audi, part of the Volkswagen Group, took over. Finally, Lamborghini had a strong and stable parent company. Audi gave Lamborghini money, technology, and resources, but most importantly, allowed it to keep its wild, untamed identity. From there, a new golden era began. In 2001, the Murcielago arrived, combining German engineering with Italian passion. Soon after came the Gallardo, a more affordable model that became a bestseller and introduced Lamborghini to a wider audience. For the first time, it wasn't just billionaires buying Lamborghinis. Successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and celebrities joined in too. The 2010s made Lamborghini stronger than ever. The Aventador replaced the Murcielago as the flagship, while the Huracan became the everyday dream car for enthusiasts. Then came the Urus, a luxury SUV that shocked purists but skyrocketed sales, making Lamborghini one of the most profitable supercar brands in the world. What started as Ferruccio Lamborghini's response to Ferrari had now grown into a global empire. Today, Lamborghini isn't just about cars, it's about attitude. It's about proving people wrong, refusing limits, and chasing impossible dreams. The rivalry with Ferrari is still alive. Ferrari stands for racing heritage and tradition. Lamborghini stands for drama, spectacle, and raw power. Without Ferrari's challenge, Lamborghini might never have existed. And without Lamborghini's defiance, Ferrari might never have been pushed so far. Together, they created one of the greatest rivalries in automotive history. So, when you see a Lamborghini on the road, remember, it's more than just a machine. It's a story of pride, ambition, and rebellion. A story that started with a tractor maker, fueled by an insult, and grew into a roaring legend across generations. Lamborghini proves that sometimes being underestimated is the best motivation of all.